Picture this. You're walking into a brightly lit electronics store, and boom, you see it. The exact laptop you've been eyeing for months. But look down at the price tag. $1,200. Immediately, your brain just hits the brakes. You're probably thinking, no way, absolutely not. That is just way too expensive right now. But then, right on cue, a friendly salesperson walks up. They notice you looking, and they casually drop this line. Hey, you can actually take that home today for only $50 a month. Now, notice what just happened in your mind right there. Suddenly, that exact same $1,200 laptop doesn't feel all that expensive anymore. I mean, $50? That feels completely doable. And honestly, that right there is the exact moment the trap begins. Part 1. The monthly payment illusion. You see, our modern economy relies on an incredibly powerful psychological trick, and it's all about focusing our attention purely on the monthly payment. Let's ground this with a super relatable example. Let's say you're bringing home $5,000 a month after taxes. Pretty solid income, right? But out of that, you're already covering all your basic survival expenses. Rent, groceries, utilities, getting to work, insurance. The foundation is set. Then, you decide you want to finance a new phone. The phone itself is $1,200, but you see that magical payment of $50 a month. $50 doesn't feel dangerous at all, so you go ahead and buy it. But look how quickly things escalate from that one single decision. The phone is $50. Then, maybe a car upgrade, and the salesperson magically makes the numbers fit for $500 a month. Then comes a streaming service for $15, music for $11, cloud storage for $3, a fitness app for $20, oh, and a buy now, pay later thing you grabbed last week for $30, plus another random subscription for $10. Now, none of these payments look catastrophic on their own, and honestly, that is the absolute genius of this whole system. They're small enough to feel totally harmless. But here's the catch. Your income is just one single number, while your expenses, they become dozens of numbers. Together, they rapidly stack up and just devour a massive chunk of your monthly cash flow. And that's the thing. This doesn't just cost you interest. It literally costs you your freedom. Because once your paycheck is fully committed to all those different numbers before it even hits your bank account, you completely lose your flexibility. What if your income suddenly drops? What if the car needs a major repair? Or your landlord hikes up the rent? If your money is already spoken for, you have zero breathing room. No space to handle emergencies, move across the country, or invest for your future. Part 2. The psychology of mental accounting. Mental accounting is this really fascinating cognitive phenomenon where your brain treats a massive immediate expense completely differently than a small recurring payment. Like if someone walked up to you and asked, hey, would you drop $1,000 on this today? You'd probably reject it instantly. No way. But if they say, would you spend $40 a month? Your brain hesitates. It suddenly perceives that $40 as small. It completely shifts your perception of the price, even though, and this is key, the product hasn't gotten a single cent cheaper. And here is exactly where time becomes the ultimate manipulator. Just look at these two car loan offers. Offer A is $600 per month. Offer B is $450 per month. I mean, most of us naturally gravitate right toward offer B, right? It's a no-brainer. But what if offer B lasts much, much longer? By manipulating the timeline, lenders stretch that financial burden way out. It creates this perfect illusion that you're saving money, when in reality, your total payout is significantly higher. This is exactly why a monthly payment figure all by itself is virtually useless. It's totally incomplete information. You literally cannot make a sound financial decision unless you know 3 crucial numbers. Number 1, the total price. Number 2, the interest and fees. And number 3, the exact length of the commitment. Without all 3 of those, only X dollars per month is just a half-truth. Part 3, the danger of payment stacking. Subscriptions are arguably the absolute biggest budget leak in any modern household. And you might be wondering, why is that? Well, it's because the decision to buy becomes completely disconnected from the act of spending. When you hand over a crisp $100 bill, you feel it. It stings a little. But with a subscription, you only make that buying decision once. After that, those automatic payments just quietly drain your account, again and again, completely bypassing that psychological pain of spending money. And then, then there's buy now, pay later. Look, if you can't comfortably afford the full purchase today, splitting it up into 4 pieces doesn't magically make you richer. Actually, scratch that. It just creates this really difficult to track pipeline. A payment starts today, another one hits next week, another one the month after that. You don't just have a few cheap purchases lying around. You've built this stacked pipeline of future payments that are just constantly draining your liquidity. Part 4, selling your future income. I want you to really consider this thought. The biggest financial mistake isn't always spending too much money today. Sometimes it's promising too much of tomorrow's money. Really think about that for a second. When you agree to a stack of monthly payments, you are basically saying, hey, future me will figure out how to pay for this. But here's the harsh reality. The payment schedule does not care if your income drops. It doesn't care if your expenses suddenly rise or if your life priorities completely change. That bill still arrives, right on schedule, every single time. And here is exactly how that trap slowly closes around you. Let's walk through this incredibly dangerous cycle of lifestyle inflation. Step 1, you buy a so-called affordable monthly payment. Naturally, step 2, your disposable income takes a hit. Then, step 3, boom, an unexpected expense arrives. Maybe it's a medical bill or a blown tire on your car, but because your cash flow is already eaten up by all those payments, you don't have enough actual cash on hand. So what happens? Step 4, you borrow again, creating yet another monthly payment. Which means step 5, your disposable income falls even further. This is exactly how dozens of tiny, seemingly harmless upgrades can slowly trap someone who is actually earning a fantastic income. Part 5. Escaping the payment trap. Okay, so how do we fix this? To break out of this mindset, you need a clear roadmap out. First up, you have to always think in total cost. Write down that full $2,000. Do not let the salesperson's $50 a month be the number you anchor to. 2, sit down and list out every single recurring payment you have so you can actually see the real damage. 3, calculate the exact percentage of your income that is already spoken for before you even think about taking on anything new. 4, force a waiting period before buying anything big, just to let your brain cool off from the excitement of getting something new. And 5, prioritize building your cash savings above everything else. Because cash gives you something debt simply cannot: flexibility. We really need to redefine what financial stability looks like. It is not about looking rich, and it is certainly not about just barely surviving your best month. It's about having breathing room when things go wrong. If an emergency happens and you actually have savings, you handle it. You don't instantly create another suffocating monthly payment to get through it. So, the very next time you see a seemingly harmless little number like $49 a month, you have to remember this. You are not just buying a cheap product. You are legally committing your future income to a stack of payments. Look, $49 isn't really dangerous by itself, but 49 plus 79 plus 500 plus 15, the trap isn't the individual payment. The trap is the stack. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly powerful question, and I want you to ask yourself this before every single major purchase you make from now on. If my income dropped tomorrow, would I still be comfortable with this payment? Because being able to make the payment on your absolute best day is not the same thing as actually being able to afford the purchase. Let that thought completely alter how you evaluate your next buy.